This is when it really starts to get interesting on the football field. Round 2 of the playoffs. The Harlan Hawks getting ready for a Class 6A Division II area matchup. They'll be taking on the Harlingen Football Cardinals. Harlingen 8-3 this season, finished 3-2 in District 32 6A. The Hawks undefeated 11-0. They won District 29 6A, perfect 8-0 mark there. With the undefeated record, they know that they got a target on their back.
When we have that target on our back, keeps us hungry and determined to, finish what we got to finish. The job's not done. Job's never done till the ring's on our finger.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even in our district play right now, you look at it and you're undefeated coming in, and every team gave us their best, and like they should. And they, there's a lot of great coaching, a lot of great players out there, and we just keep training our kids and keep letting them know that that's what people are going to do. They're going to give us their best, and we got to bring our best every week.
Our confidence is definitely boosted up from last year as we excelled and going up against all the bigger schools.
All right, so Harlan's got to travel a little bit, taking on Harlingen tonight, 7 o'clock, Cavanis Field in Corpus. We'll have highlights on the night beat for you. There's also playoff action in the gym on the volleyball court. How about those Davenport Wolves? They beat Salina 3-0 to win the Class 4A state semifinals. They won 25-16, 25-23, 25-20 to advance to the state title game. Davenport's going to play Canyon Randall Saturday, tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock for the Class 4A state championship at the Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland. Wish them the best of luck. And there they go. The Harlan Hawks volleyball team got a tremendous send-off. All kinds of Harlan school pride on display as the young ladies got on a bus headed to Garland and the Curtis Caldwell Center for the UIL Volleyball State Tournament there. Harlan will play Katy Cinco Ranch in the Class 6A state semifinals tonight at 7 o'clock. And we wish Harlan all the best of luck, as well as Davenport. Good luck to those ladies. Hey, the Spurs are back on the floor tonight, ready to erase the memory of that OKC loss Tuesday. Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama had the worst game of his young NBA career, a season-low 8 points, 4 out of 15 shooting from the floor, 0 for 3 from three-point range. He went scoreless in the second half, but he did have a double in rebounds. He had a career-high 14. Still gave us some highlight reel plays as well. Coach Pop has said he still watched Wemby play just to see what he likes, doesn't like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Wemby was asked, does he like the way Pop is coaching him?
Yeah, even though I know he's trying to learn from us just as much as we're learning from him. And it's going to be, as I told you, it's going to be a long-term project, and it's we are experimenting some stuff, but this is the way I like to play is when we win, So we got a lot to adjust. A
long-term project means it's not going to happen overnight. So they got some work to keep doing, and they'll try to get back on the winning track tonight when they host the Kings at 6:30. Let's just say tonight at 6:30. And then they've got like 4 in a row at home. So they got a chance to right this ship. So we'll see what happens.
I like that he said they're experimenting.
Yes, it is kind of it's kind of a new way of doing it with Coach Pop, because they got such a young team. He's got to figure out who goes where and what and how.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people will be hopping on flights over the coming days as Thanksgiving gets closer. And while there's not much you can do to avoid the crowds, there are things you can do right now to avoid some travel headaches. Tips to plan ahead in the next half hour.
And Apple has announced a big change to iPhone messages next year. How this could improve texting between iPhone and Android users.
New today at 5, it's the Friday before Thanksgiving. A lot of people's travel plans include hitting the road. And wouldn't you know it, there was a little spike in gas prices. We'll show you the tools to find the gas stations with cheapest prices today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. Welcome back. The CDC is scrambling to address a shortage of the RSV vaccine for children.
The agency has announced that more than 77,000 doses will be distributed immediately to help. Those emergency doses will be going to doctors' offices and hospitals through the CDC Vaccines for Children program. The RSV vaccine shortage emerged amid high demand from parents and from pediatricians. The CDC recommended the new vaccine for infants under 8 months of age and certain high-risk toddlers up to 2. In the meantime, federal health officials are recommending physicians prioritize the vaccine for infants at the risk of RSV.
The United Nations says it can't deliver food and other necessities to people in Gaza. And now the agency is warning this will increase the chances of widespread starvation. Also adding to the issue, internet and telephone services collapsing. That communications blackout is in its second day, and it has largely cut off Gaza's people from one another and the outside world.
President Joe Biden signing a bill to avoid a government shutdown. Approval of the temporary spending bill came a day before much of the government would have run out of money. The bill keeps existing funds at those same levels, and it pushes a fight with congressional Republicans over the federal budget into the new year when GOP lawmakers in the House want to see some stiff spending cuts. It splits these deadlines for passing full-year appropriations bills into 2 dates, January 19th for some federal agencies and February 2nd for others. The measure does not include any wartime for Ukraine or Israel, or it does not include any wartime aid for humanitarian funding for Palestinians.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled a Florida law limiting drag shows in the state will remain blocked. The law was originally challenged by a popular Orlando restaurant. Hamburger Mary's hosts drag brunches and claimed that the law led to a loss of business. Florida's Attorney General argued the law, known as the Protection of Children Act, was designed to protect kids from exposure to sexually explicit live performances.
Apple making changes to the iMessage app on iPhones and is supposed to improve communicating with Android users. Apple says it will adopt a messaging standard that will finally bring iMessages, those features, to Android users. The change will add features such as read receipt, typing indicators, better support for group chats, and higher quality media sharing of images and videos across the platforms. The move doesn't necessarily mean the green or blue bubbles that are displayed are going to go away. Matter of fact, they like those green and blue bubbles. One analysis says keeping the colors is an Apple marketing strategy that's probably going to continue.
A look outside with live cam, 72 degrees, and this weather is great right now.
Right this second.
Right now.
Roll down the windows. Enjoy it. Go outside, kids. Go outside. Enjoy it. We're going to get some more good weather coming up. This isn't it, but it does get a little bit cooler as we get into tomorrow. I want to show you some of the TransGuide shots around town. You know, on Fridays, it's always interesting to me. Traffic, the evening commute is always a little bit earlier. I feel like people just go home earlier on Fridays. But traffic is flowing well right now. And I want to show you some of the TransGuide shots because it shows you the blue skies there in the distance. 37 at Southeast Military, 410 at Starcrest. All looks good. It is a nice day. We've got a few thin high clouds in the sky, but that honestly is it. So let's look at the forecast for today. 74 degrees at 2 o'clock, 77 at 3 p.m. We'll top out somewhere around 78 later today. So fairly warm, at least warmer than yesterday. Then tonight we'll start to see that front working in. So you'll see a switch around in the winds from the southwest to the northwest. And winds will pick up a little bit. We could see some gusts, maybe 15, 20 miles per hour. Not a lot, but some. And maybe a few more clouds. And then temperatures slip into the 60s tonight. So go ahead and grab a light jacket if you got plans to be out and about for your Friday evening. And know that it will be cooler and more cloudy coming up this weekend before we get our next front on Monday. Another update on that weekend forecast and Thanksgiving forecast coming up.
Thank you, Justin. Thanksgiving next week. And of course, we're getting a glimpse into what you can expect if you are traveling.
AAA says this Thanksgiving travel period is expected to be the busiest in several years. And the TSA expects it to be a record setter for air travel.
CNN's Cole Higgins has a closer look and some tips and hacks to make your traveling a little smoother this holiday.
If you're traveling over the Thanksgiving holiday, pack your patience. It's expected to be a record-setting travel season in the skies and a busy one on the roads.
The trend is that people are still traveling in very large volumes.
AAA is forecasting 55.4 million people will be traveling to their holiday destinations, including more than 49 million who will drive to their destination between the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday after the holiday. If you're hitting the road, AAA says that Wednesday afternoon is still the worst time to hit the roads, with AAA recommending you leave on actual Thanksgiving Day.
It shortens the amount of time that you're at your destination, but it also shortens the amount of time that you're in transit.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving is also brutal, but not as busy as it could be.
Hybrid schedules and remote schedules have changed everything because now people can leave for holiday travel at different times.
If you're taking to the skies, brace yourself for packed airports and possible delays and cancellations. The Transportation Security Administration is bracing for an all-time record number of passengers at airports nationwide on this Sunday after Thanksgiving. So what can you do to minimize the chaos at the airport? One travel expert says avoid checking a bag in case your flight gets canceled and you're moved to a different one. Take public transit to the airport or book your parking spot online now. And finally, give yourself plenty of time, be flexible and very patient.
There's always going to be some amount of cancellations that happen as long as we have bad weather.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
And as that story mentioned, figuring out how to get to the airport is something you can definitely plan ahead for, and you should. San Antonio International Airport says it's expecting a lot of travelers for Thanksgiving. Ryan Rocha with the San Antonio Airport says you need to get there 2 hours before your boarding time. And the San Antonio Airport expects lots of people to drive themselves.
That means parking issues. We've got a breakdown of all your parking options on KSAT12. Just scan this QR code to see that story. We also have a link on that page to see what lots open spots, and there's a link to reserve your spot right now. And I think they even have some special kind of lots out there, don't they? Like, what do they call it? Think of the word. Help me out here.
Special. While many stores have already kicked off some holiday sales, the big ticket items are still set to see steep price cuts next week. How you can get the most bang for your buck. With Thanksgiving coming up, foodies have a lot to look forward to.
Bargain hunters, it's your time to shine as well. The countdown to Black Friday is on.
Here's ABC's Becky Worley with a breakdown of the best deals.
It was Walmart Black Friday deals, and I was a woman possessed.
Shut up! Another Walmart deal just dropped.
Between the ads on TV and the offers flooding your inbox, you might think Black Friday is today. But there's still a week to go, and yet many stores saying their best deals are live now.
It's just this kind of nonstop time of sales that we all call Black Friday, even though it stretches out for weeks. And you as a consumer are wondering, well, do I shop now? Do I wait?
Stores like Best Buy and Amazon saying they kick off sales today. Target says their big event launches Sunday, and Walmart says its deals go live next Wednesday.
It feels confusing to know, well, when is the really good Black Friday sale? In general, the true Black Friday sales, they're going on now until the middle of next week.
Experts say be ready with your gift list. And to help with that, Google is experimenting with their new generative AI.
We've built a tool really for people on your list who are hard to shop for. I can type things, something like, gifts for a 7-year-old who want to be an inventor. And I would get different types of gift recommendations. And so it's a really great way to help get gift inspiration for people who are hard to shop for.
All right, so good luck on that shopping on those days. Outside with live. I was trying to say valet parking is what I was trying to say.
That's right.
And I kept
valet.
I kept having the word limousine in my head. I was like,
They're close.
I was trying to think.
They're
the
close.
Airport has valet parking.
Yes.
And
For
y'all were
limousines.
just looking at me like I was done for the day.
It's been a long week, David. Long week.
I agree. I'll second that.
TGIF. 68 so far today. 71 is the average. We'll be a little bit above average, I think, as we head into the afternoon. Again, this is the time of year where we can see extreme temperatures. So it's been as warm as 89 and as cold as 30. Thankfully, we shoot right in between that as we head into next week with 60s in the forecast. Again, a few changes next week. Plus, we're going to look at the travel forecast for you, too, coming up.
All right, here we go into the weekend. Got a lot of football action all around town, all around South Texas tonight. I think UTSA is playing tonight, so I might have a tailgate over there.
And holiday events,
And
lots of them.
Do we still have playoff high school
Shopping?
football?
Yeah.
We still do, yeah.
Yeah.
I should know that, I'm sorry. Hey, I've been behind on my football, but yeah, big games. And football should be fine tonight. Should be fine. UTSA game for tailgating looks good there, too. I want to show you what's going on across the country. I mentioned that front that's working through Texas is rather weak. And you can kind of see that here with the temperatures. There's not a huge temperature differential. There's not a lot of cold air surging down into Texas. We're kind of just getting the edge of this cooler air. But it is going to make a little bit of a difference as we get into tomorrow. And the temperatures are cool and chilly in spots, but not bitterly cold. 49 Chicago, 65 in New York, 82 in Miami. It's still picking up the pieces there from some damage from storms a couple days ago. And as we look at Texas a little bit closer, it is somewhat cooler up in the Panhandle, 54 Amarillo, 59 in Lubbock. And then you got 70s and even 80s down there in the valley this afternoon. We'll be up into the mid to upper 70s later today. We're going 78 here in San Antonio, 77 Somerset, 77 Castroville, 79 Pearsall, maybe some 80s around Carrizo Springs. And then the weekend forecast, cooler. Behind that front, 68 Saturday, quiet, but we'll get some more clouds. I think both days you'll notice quite a bit of cloud cover. Sunday, I can't rule out a shower, but it's not going to be a big problem. 70 is where we're going with on Sunday. And then another front comes in by Monday afternoon, and that cools us down yet again. So we're getting into more of an active pattern. There's just not a lot of rain involved, at least not yet. 68 right now, southwesterly winds at about 11 miles per hour as it stands right now. And let's look at the travel forecast today. Some people are hitting the road today, and it looks good across the state. A little cooler up around Dallas, but everyone else 70s and 80s. No problems on the roads, not even really any rain as you look across Texas. And airport delays, not many. Orlando is reporting a significant delay there, but otherwise not bad. As we get into next week, there will be some weather makers that could cause some delays on top of just high traffic that you're expecting at the airport. So you'll want to check ahead for sure, and we'll certainly keep tabs on it. Our forecast shows front coming through tonight. More clouds tomorrow, as we mentioned. Here comes the next system. A couple showers on Sunday, mainly to our north. And then on Monday, as it finally pulls through, we'll get a few showers and maybe a storm or two Monday afternoon. Rain chances are low, window is small. Then we get the gusty winds behind it. 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible on Tuesday and cooler. Wednesday, at this point, looks pretty good. Again, there's that one change that we have in the computer models. You're not going to see it here. It's just new data that's coming in where it wants to put a little bit more rain in the forecast even on Thanksgiving Day. Now, we're not buying into it just yet, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind. We're going to update it as soon as we get new data later today if it keeps trending in that direction. But even this is showing a few showers and maybe some cloud cover working in on Thanksgiving. We'll see how that plays out. I still think temperatures are in the 60s, so it's not going to be overly cool. But if we do get some rain, it could bring about some changes, and I think we may even get a few showers on Friday. So that'll be something to watch. Still a ways out, so these models kind of can flip-flop on us a little bit. 68 Saturday, 70 on Sunday, 78 Monday. Again, we're watching next week, but I think Tuesday and Wednesday look okay, and we'll see how Thursday plays out. Right now, we're forecasting 66 and partly cloudy skies. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. SA Live is in the holiday spirit.
I can't wait to see that table of all the goodies.
Take a look at this table. Yes, and this table was decorated by Moms Who Party, Brooke Reed and Libby Crawford. All right, nothing like a great Thanksgiving table, ladies, but then it's the cleanup afterwards, right?
Oh, we got you covered on that.
How?
This is all going to go right in the trash can.
Throwing it away?
We are throwing it away.
75% of it in the trash.
But we're saving the good stuff, right?
We'll save the crystal.
And you said you got this stuff really cheap too, right?
We did. Yep. It was 50% off, so you can keep it, you can trash it. It's your call.
We will tell you all about that. Of course, they've got some beautiful sides here. If you wanted some great sides, go to Whiskey Cake. Look at what they have here. We're going to tell you all about that. Order now, too. You can order a whole turkey. And, of course, they got some cocktails. All right, speaking of side dishes, which one are you going to pass on? Scan that QR code. Speaking of sides, my beautiful sidekick is doing a little Christmas shopping right now.
Well, you know what, Mike? I had no idea. They have an exact replica of your living room right here. I had no idea. We are at the Freeman Coliseum where the San Antonio Christmas Showcase is taking place this weekend with over 400 vendors. We are going to give you a sneak peek at some of the unique gifts you can find.
Tell you what, had Steven not widened out that much, I would have thought that was somebody's living room, which reminds me I have to put up my tree and my lights today. Speaking of Christmas, Fiona did a little bit of snow tubing right here in town. Yeah, we are going to tell you where you can get a little bit of Christmas fun and pretend like we're in a cold winter climate around here. That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live, so stick around.